My name is Sebastian Dre. I've been a patient here for about 8 years, I think. At least that's what the doctors say. They say I'm crazy, but I'm not. Now Dale Brinks, he's crazy, and Sheila Parks is a downright lunatic. But me, no, I'm not crazy. I know what's going on. I listen. I hear stuff. And I tried telling everyone, I really did. Most of the other patients believed me, but not the doctors. They just yelled at me and told me to stop telling stories and scaring the other patients. But they're not just stories. There really is a monster stalking the hospital, and it kills. It kills in horrible, horrible ways. But it wasn't always here. It showed up about 2 weeks ago. The first person it killed was a patient named Charlie something or other. They said it was one of the patients that killed him, but they couldn't figure out which one. And then it killed Babylon Nora. We were kinda okay with that, because that crazy freak of a woman just never shut up. She was always talking about something, and almost none of it made any sense. Doctors blamed that one on patients too, so they put all of us on lockdown, and we went to bed. The morning after the first lockdown, I overheard 2 doctors talking about how one of the security guards was found dead, mangled into a mess of blood. There was no way to blame us this time, so while the doctors were trying to figure out what was going on, I made a plan. I was gonna stay awake all night and peek out the window and the door to see if maybe I could get a look at the thing. Then I can tell the doctors what it looked like. My roommate buddy Ryan's a few crayons short of a kindergarten class, but he's still okay. He didn't want to sit up and watch with me because if he saw it, he would have nightmares for the rest of his life. It took 4 full nights before I finally saw it. Its eyes were a solid black. It had a big wide mouth full of sharp teeth that seemed to be too long to let its mouth close. Thick gray drool dribbled down its chin. Its arms were long, almost reaching the floor. Its fingers ended in thick, pointed nails. I couldn't see any ears, hair, or a nose. Its legs were really skinny, and its knees bent backwards. I watched it walk past our room, praying it wouldn't see me. It didn't. But it stopped suddenly right in front of our room and looked at the room across the hall from us. I figured it might have heard something. It stood there for a minute just looking at the door, then went on its way. The next morning I told everyone what I saw. But like I said, the doctors didn't believe me. Why didn't they? How could someone make up a story like this? They'd have to be crazier than old George, who swears they're feeding us worms every time we have spaghetti. So anyway, I knew what was killing everyone, but I didn't know why, or where it came from, or where it went during the day. But every morning I would hear about someone else getting killed. During free time, I tried to find some kind of connection between everyone it killed. I couldn't pinpoint anything. None of them had anything in common. But there had to be something. There just had to be. And the doctors weren't going to be any help. They were just going about their days like nothing went wrong. They never even called the police. I decided it was up to me to take care of this. I had to be the one to find a way to kill the monster before it killed everyone. But how? I thought long and hard. At dinner, I managed to sneak out a fork by slipping it into my underwear. Before lockdown, I stuffed some toilet paper into the hole in the door frame where the door latches. Would a crazy person think to do all of this? I think not. As always, the doctors made sure we were in bed, then closed and locked the door. I waited a good while before I got up and pulled the fork from my pants. I carefully turned the door handle and the door opened. I crept into the empty hall and sneaked around, dodging security guards and nighttime doctors as I looked for the monster. And then I saw it. In the middle of the hallway, it had a doctor pinned to the wall. Without a second of hesitation, I ran toward the thing, with one single objective. I had to kill it. This would probably be my only chance. I began stabbing it with the fork. In the face, the eyes, the neck, the shoulders. Anywhere and everywhere I could reach. The monster screamed in hideous howls as it struggled to throw me off. But I fought to hold on and just kept stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. The next thing I remember, I woke up in the solitary. 2 doctors and 3 policemen were standing over me. I was still pretty out of it, but I heard the doctor saying something about hallucinations. psychotic, and delusions. I am not delusional, and I wasn't hallucinating. I know what I saw, and I killed it. I saved everyone else in this place. You'd think everyone would call me hero, or at least give me a cake. Instead, I've been confined to solitary, while everyone mopes around saying how sad it is that another doctor was murdered. But the doctor wasn't killed. The monster was. I know this because I killed the monster with my own 2 hands and a fork. And I'm not crazy.